Welcome back, brothers, to the shop. It is getting dangerous out there, and if you're still rolling that 1999 EDC, you need to get up to speed. The last time I went to Portland, I was chased by a homeless guy with a baseball bat. Just this last couple days, my family came in from my dad's side to Idaho to spend some time with us after Thanksgiving. They were attacked by a crazy guy in their car, smashing cars with a bike. Things are getting rough. I'm going to show you an EDC that just basically includes two separate things that you can carry in almost any situation that's not going to make you really stand out. And what the problem that I've had, and I think a lot of guys do, we've got a lot of good equipment and gear and things that we have in a safe or a closet at home that we don't use it because it's just not being utilized properly. You got to be light, you got to be fast, and you got to be really smart, and you got to be able to move with the changing times. With this being said, before we get into this kit, you've got to avoid any sort of conflict if possible. Stay away from the cities, stay away from those environments, only if you have to go in there, but I don't want you to be dumb about it. Be harmless. How does the good book put it? I want you to be as wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Is that how it goes? Because we learned a lot from Kyle's trial. Here we had a young boy, that was the clearest cut scenario of self-defense that I've ever seen. And yet with a $1 million dream team worth of lawyers, tons of resources, nationally broadcast where everyone was watching it, he was in great jeopardy, and I was surprised that he made it out of there with his freedom. How do you think it's going to fare for you in a situation like that with your public defender and no one caring? We saw what the prosecution could do. We saw what the government can do when they have an agenda, and it is terrifying. So number one, remove yourself from the situation, get away from it. This is when you get to the point where there's just no longer any options and your back is to the wall. All right, let's take a look. This is the Mystery Ranch briefcase that is probably the most versatile bag I've ever owned. This is the second one that I've bought. This is the Gen 2. And the original one I purchased was the Gen 1, and both are fine, but the Gen 2 is better. It's got some updates and a little bit bigger, a little bit more expandable, and a better clasp system. So we'll be looking at this. And these are really affordable now. I just checked Amazon, and these are $119. And even if you're not using it for what I'm showing you, it is really, really a fantastic bag. It's got a shoulder strap on it, but the best thing is it's got those backpack straps, which we'll cover here in a minute. Now inside of here, we've got these big zipper pockets, and there's two things that we're going to be taking. And I have this thing now for the last several weeks within reach at me all the time. It rides in the passenger seat in the truck with me. If we go out to eat, it comes in. I either wear it as a backpack or I sling it with a sling, like just a shoulder bag. It's always ready and it's always handy, and I can reach in and access everything in just one compartment. So we're going to use the main compartment here. But believe it or not, if you're smart about it, you can have a full-on plate carrier with level 3+ ceramic. You know, that's thicker stuff, body armor in there that can just comes in and it comes out really easy. I know it's tempting to put a bunch of stuff on this, and I did the same thing. I fell for that, but keep it simple, keep it light, and keep it where you can put it on really quickly and you're not snagging and catching on stuff, and more importantly, that you can wear it under something that's not going to scream that you are wearing body armor. This I would have. I would sell whatever you have to sell and raise some money, get a second job, go deliver pizzas, whatever you need to do. This is really important to have. I would not want to be out in the current environment without this. So that's the main thing. You can throw it on if you need it real quickly, but the best thing about this pack is you don't have to. Just by having it in here, you can pull out the backpack straps, which stow inside the back panel if you don't want those things flopping around. And just all the time, just by wearing it and carrying it, I mean, you're basically wearing your body armor on the back already. And as we all know, you can flip a backpack around and wear it on the front if you don't have time. But just by carrying your normal bag, you've got on the back 2 layers of level 3+ plates, right? What will that stop? You know, of course, that'll stop about anything. So inside, let's take a look at the part 2 here. In the very same pocket, which is the main pocket, we have one of the most innovative products probably of the whole year. And I'm glad to see that these have come way down in price. And this is a Unity clutch belt. It's essentially a full war belt. You like my airsoft in there? I like to carry my airsoft when I go into the ghetto. It is basically a war belt that's full of cells that is very, very compact that you can throw on. You don't have to have belt loops. You don't have to have an inner belt. And it's amazing the capability this gives you and just everything you need at a grasp. You can put this on your nightstand and throw a robe over it. You can put it on, and you can cover it and hide it with all of this stuff it's so simple. Vertex, I noticed, so I checked this morning, is making these. I think they partnered with Unity, and the price has come way down. I think I paid like $150 for mine. Now they're $65, and they are fabulous. Let's take a look at this, how I set it up, maybe give you some ideas. You're going to have your own ideas how to do it, what works best for you. But this right here is the ticket if you want a grab and go thing that you can just get going really quick. I can't speak to the quality of the Vertex version of this. The Unity version is top of the line, top notch, but buyer beware on that. I have not seen one. So inside, what you have here is you've got a really high quality, stretchy fabric that's really thick that has a whole bunch of individual cells. Now these guys right here are a really grippy rubber that really hug the body. Once you put this on and wrap it around you, you can drive in it, you can sit, you can move. It's very, very comfortable because it moves with your body. Unlike, the bigger war belts, the heavy, the heavy scuba webbing, which really do bite and are uncomfortable. So this here is the back side. There are some slits in there, and I think on the new one you can weave this into an inner belt, but I've never ever found that to be necessary. And I'll put this on and show you how everything's laid out. So from left to right, so this would be, if my belt buckle was at the 12 o'clock position, this would be about the 10 o'clock position right here. You can put, they're going to have, I don't know if they come with it. I'll put links to all this down in the description, and I'll pin it to the top comment of all the things that I have. And you can go and find and see what works best for you. But I think they sell an accessory kit that has the sleeves in there, so it will hold things tight. Now inside of all of these are going to be Velcro, the female side of the Velcro. So all of the pouches or anything that you want to add, all you need is just the male version of the Velcro. Ooh, that's a little blurry. Male version of the Velcro, and you can stick it on there. So we've got an extra magazine right here and a little Surefire light that fits in there really tight. And even, you can shake it upside down. Everything is going to hold. It doesn't fall out. I've never had any problems with it. Now here, whether you're left or right-handed, where you're going to carry your airsoft pew-pew there, these are going to be open on the bottom. So you can run a holster, a Kydex holster section in there. If you have something that sticks out like a full size, you're not going to run into the bottom there. So here and here, whether you're left or right, at your 3 and 9 o'clock position, you're going to have those open, so it gives you a little bit of options. So that's why that's done there. Right here, I've got an IFAC, which would be coming around, on like the 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock position. And I wanted the thinnest, sleekest one I could get, and the thinnest IFAC holder that I could find was this one here made by Vertex as well. And all I've got in here, it's just a really lightweight fabric. And I know you can put a whole bunch of stuff in here, but this is about fast and light. We're not about that. But all I have in here is an Israeli bandage and a quick clot, and that's it. And if you tuck all this stuff in there really nice and tight, it makes a very small package. If I need to be really, really light, I'll even take this, or really trim, I guess. This is the bulkiest part of it. I'll take this out and just put it in the pack. You're not always going to need that. But if you want it, it's there. Once you eliminate this guy and you have this on here, it's very, very trim, and you can cover it up even with a full-size airsoft and get and hide it. It's not going to be something anyone's going to notice. But it wears really, really well with that Vertex IFAC because there's just very little bit, there's almost no material in there to speak of. Right here on the front, which would be the 9 o'clock position, I've got one of those sleeves that's designed for a magazine, for your AR magazine right there. And I carry the 20s. And with the 20s, they're a little bit short and harder to get a hold of, so I do like the Magpul pulls. Because the 20s, and especially if you have a few extra pounds on you, those will really, they're so long, they get up and they jab, and they're really top heavy on this. And you can do it, but they don't carry very well. I've just switched into the 20s. They're so much more compact and easy to deal with, and with the mag pull on there, it just works perfectly. So you have that, if you have your truck, your truck airsoft, you've got an extra mag there. But if you're going to have that by your bed, you've got an extra mag for your primary and your secondary. You've got a backup flashlight. I mean, everything that you really need to go. This would be on the spine, so that'd be the 6 o'clock position. I keep everything off of that. And then right here is just a tourniquet that you can run in there. You don't really need any pouches for that. The cat tourniquet has a little bit of Velcro on the bottom. And so right here on that plastic piece, and that's the male section, and that corresponds and ties in really nicely with the female section there. So I just kind of pulled this label back. When they come, they'll come like this. Pull the label back and expose that, and then just run that in. If you want a little trick on trying to match, if you're trying to slide something in without the Velcro catching on you, cut a piece of cardboard about the size of this cell, slide that cardboard in there, slide this in, put it where you want it, and then slide the cardboard out. It's a real handy way to do that. Now over here, this is going to be kind of a custom deal, what works for you best. But what you're going to want is some sort of a Kydex holster. You probably have some extra ones or some old ones. Just make sure that it's not any wider than these cells right here. What works perfect is this is from T-Rex Arms. This is just one that I scavenged off of one of the sidecar holsters that I had. I took off the clips, I took off everything, and that gives me something, a holster for a full size with a light that locks in there really good. So any one of your Gs are going to go in there, your anything that's got a rail. So any of your 19s, they're all going to fit on there. And I like this, that 19X is just about the perfect airsoft, because you've got that big full handle on there, and when you're fighting through clothing and just trying, when things are getting woolly, to be able to get down there and get a hold of a full-size handle on it is money. Brian, my neighbor, we have a matching set of these, actually consecutive serial numbers, and this has become our primary whenever we leave the house. It's probably the finest I've ever owned. So whatever you do, all I did was just get some 3M. You can see on the back of it right there, some 3M Velcro. Stick that on there, and then you can place it wherever you want, and that works really, really good. And having a light is essential. So if you don't have a holster that receives a light, I would go to T-Rex and just order the sidecar for whatever it is that you want, and use it in this, because it's just about a match made in heaven. Right here, now this is the front cell, so this would be at the 1 o'clock, or the appendix area right there is an open cell, and I have a small bag in here that's made by Microbat Systems, and I'll put a link to their website as well. I think they might still make these here. It's just a small bag that has a zipper pouch for little administrative things, because when you're picking this thing up, when just for example, at night, I'll pull this out on my nightstand, and I'll just sit it right there on my nightstand, just like that. So I'm picking this up and I'm moving it around a lot, and I don't want things falling out. So there were a few little things that I wanted to carry that when I tipped it upside fell out. Magazines, flashlights, IFAK, all those things, they're in there secure because they're Velcroed. So inside this little pouch works really good. I can do the zipper pull and close it up, and I just keep a pocket knife in there and some extra batteries and some earplugs. That's the only thing that I carry in there. That's it. That's it. So this is for the X300. So I've got extra lights. I've got a knife if need be. Close it up. Forget about it. Probably never use it, but it's there if you want it. Now let's put this on and let me show you how well this works with clothing. Oh, one more thing also. If you want to carry a radio, you still have an extra pouch, right? You can come here and you can put a radio in the back here, like that, or you could even split it with the tourniquet if you wanted to get that off your spine. So you can easily carry a radio in there, even with all your clothing on, no problem whatsoever. Let's put this together to show you how simple and how well all of this works. So again, let's say a nightstand, for example. The nice thing is to be able to wrap this on your body no matter what you're wearing. You could be in your pajamas, a robe, whatever. It's very fast and easy. I found it best to take out your airsoft there first, and you just take this and you just wrap it around your body. I'll wrap it right above my hips. You've got a great latching system here, a really thick, robust Velcro. Now these are going to come in multiple sizes. They're not just one size, so they're small up to extra large. But you wrap this on here and then fold this over. You get a double Velcro closure and you have a really, really secure fit. There's no flopping. There's no bouncing. Everything is very tight. And even with a full size, like the 19X, you've got that great retention from the T-Rex holster that you can adjust to whatever you want. It's very compact to the body, and everything that you need is going to be on you. And just, before I get to everything, just to show you how easy it is to conceal, and look at the amount of equipment that we're carrying here and how difficult that would be with a traditional belt. Get yourself a Pendleton board shirt or some size of an oversized shirt. Avoid vests. But the Pendleton board shirt is just about ideal. It's not a coat and it's not a shirt. It's kind of a right in between. Somebody said it was a shacket. That made me cringe, but I guess that's probably true. But just to give you an idea, it's they're kind of loose and boxy. They're cut big, really great for winter, very warm. And here we have all of that equipment. I'm going to put 2 buttons on here. And it's not perfect, but if you're smart and the way you carry yourself, if you're casual, it's pretty low key. No bouncing. You could run, you can climb, hands-free. Everything is in the normal positions where you're expecting it, and very well concealed. Even if you don't have time to put armor on, just by throwing your backpack on, at least you have some coverage, right? So it's a great system, and you're always covered at least, a little bit, no matter how you're carrying it. You may not want to do that. You might want to shoulder carry it. I typically just stow the shoulder or the shoulder handle and just carry it in by the handles. And you still also have a sleeve for a laptop. So there's a full padded sleeve in there too. So it's a very versatile and nice pack. But the best part is the belt. And at $65, I think it was this morning, it is fabulous. I don't know what else to say about it. I've done a video on this before. I've just been using it now for a couple years, and I don't know anything that's like it. We've got really, we can really come down and we got an easy draw, an easy reholster. We've got extra batteries or administrative here things. You could put some money in there. We've got rolling around here. We've got our tourniquet. We've got our IFAK. We've got an extra magazine. We've got an extra flashlight. We've got an extra magazine. If you don't want to double up the flashlights, you can do 2 magazines right here. It's very versatile. You can do whatever you want. You can put a radio here. But if you take this out, that IFAK, now it's super, super trim. And for those of you guys who like to appendix carry, that's an option too. All you have to do is rotate it. You just rotate this around. I'd probably bump my magazines up one cell, just rotate them around, but you essentially have a really good appendix carry, and I know that's popular with a lot of guys, and I'm kind of moving to that direction too, because it's easier to conceal, and the natural tendency when you're trying to protect yourself, your hands come in. That's why hunting guides use the shoulder-mounted holsters, because if they're under attack or a bear's chewing on them, you kind of go into that fetal position, which draws your hand right to the gun, and you can get at it, and you're right there in your workspace and such. But great system. I'll throw this on, but I think it's important, especially with your plates, is get yourself an ultra light, slim, trim plate carrier. If you got a bunch of, your guy almost needs to have 2. There's your, the one with all your kit on it. Obviously you got to have that. But the nice thing about these new ones is they're so modular. I can take this. This is a unit. This is a Spiritus Covert, and it has almost no fabric. And we have full 3+ level plate ceramics in here, and it weighs nothing. Super, super light. And look at the side straps. They're just 1-inch nylon. We don't have a bunch of stuff. This is not designed for that. This is not why I set this up to carry a bunch of magazines. But if I want to throw a placard on there or a microfight, I can snap that in and have this thing rigged up exactly like my big one in just seconds. So they're super, super versatile. And they're just so compact. Let me move my microphone here. See how small the little straps are? Put this on, we put this on right here, and we have a really great system. We've got it everything you would have on a big kit, but it just fits in this bag. Very, very small. And what I was finding, and to keep repeating myself, is I had all this stuff and it's at home, it's never in the truck, and it's never with me because it's just too big and cumbersome. I'm not gonna run to the store or go into town and have big bags of stuff. So if you want it to be slim and trim but have everything you're gonna need, you can do this and put it together like this. It's a very small, compact kit. I'd be willing to say if you had a big winter coat that you could throw that winter coat over this, even wearing a plate carrier, and no one would, apart from very few people would even know that you were set up like this. So this is working really good, and just give you some ideas, but you need to upgrade your EDC. These are dangerous times. I have a lot of friends that live in the Detroit and the inner cities, and there's so much crime going on right now that's not being reported. Some of the things that are going on right now that you may not heard of is home invasions are just skyrocketing. And some of these guys are rolling up deep to these homes. There's a lot of reports that I'm hearing that 5, 6, even 10 guys are showing up all armed, covering every door and coordinating and coming in all at once. There's a lot of follow me home crimes. So if you're driving a nice truck or expensive car, they're just waiting and they'll follow you home, and they're coming into the home and they're figuring out where you're at that way. Another dangerous spot, especially at night, is gas stations. Gas stations that have convenience stores. A lot of guys are just kind of laying. I've seen them before where they'll be backed into those parking lots on the side, watching and waiting, watching for someone to come through that looks like they might have a little bit of money, following them home, and then following them right in and taking their family hostage. It's a dangerous, dangerous time in the cities, and I don't want you guys to be ignorant about that. You got to make plans. You got to have a plan. You have to think this stuff out. Got to have your gear. If you've invested in it, get the bag, get the setup where you can actually start using it and have it on you. I know it's a hassle. I know it's an inconvenience, but be smart, be vigilant, keep your head on a swivel. And if you have to go into these urban areas, just stay out of trouble the best you can. But if you get backed in a corner, have a plan and don't be caught wishing that you had made preparations when it's too late. Thanks for watching. May God bless you and your families. Please keep us in your prayers, and we'll see you all on the next video.